halfway through this brand new tournament, and currently we reach the brand new event of this season, Quadrilla Track. Hello everyone, I'm your host Quack, and you can see the point lead right now is 8 points, pretty solid considering we're only 4 events in for the Malware Monsters over the Maze Runners. But of course, they've been so consistent throughout the Malware Monsters have with all top half finishes, and today we have Quadrilla Track, as I mentioned, a very unique event where you can see this obstacle course the teams will have to navigate through. And it's a very simple heats of 4 race, as we saw similar to Quadrilla Race, but unlike that, it will not be a tower, and we will beginning right now with Heat 1, Claymore, Cortex, Chestnut, and Skim for the Blade Masters, Brainstorms, Team Toucan, and the Snow Skaters. It looks like the Brainstorms getting off to the lead right now with their captain, but the Team Toucan will go by through there. Meanwhile, the other three still very close as we head into this colorful block section, and the Blade Masters fall all the way to the back. Meanwhile, the top 2 will stay unchanged. Team Toucan and the Brainstorms will be moving on from Heat 1. The Snow Skaters, surprising for them, I don't know if they've even had a bottom half finish yet. They've been very consistent throughout. Same for the Blade Masters, but neither one of them will be able to advance here. But a 12:22 will be the benchmark. You can see this relatively long track. It's a bit difficult to navigate all the way through, and there's so many places where you can get hung up on these obstacles that it's going to be difficult to learn how to master it. But Team Toucan will be the first. And now we move on to Heat 2 with the Ash Flowers, Cinder, Lucky Clovers with Wish, Mach 5 with Sonic, and the Maze Runners. We'll see how they go here. It looks like the Lucky Clovers starting off with the lead. The Mach 5 not too far behind them. Well, the Ash Flowers are making moves to get up into second place, and the Lucky Clovers, they have a bad bump there, and now they go all the way to the back. Meanwhile, the Maze Runners with Harvest not quite able into the advancement zone. They won't be able to catch up into the end, but Mach 5 and the Ash Flowers will be moving on here. Very impressive by them. The Lucky Clovers, though, what a fall off from them. They started off with the lead in this heat, and then they fell all the way to fourth in that one moment. They got stuck right there on that green section, and yes, it will be Sonic from Mach 5 who take the win here with a 13.13. And meanwhile, the Ash Flowers making a nice comeback toward the later part of the track to get into the advancement zone. But now we move on to the Malware Monsters, Frostbites, Overdrives, and Luna Moths. And several very consistent teams here, such as the Malware Monsters, who are starting off in the top 2, just behind the Frostbites. Meanwhile, the Luna Moths not too far behind them, and the Overdrives in the back. But now the Luna Moths overtake into the second place, and will the Malware Monsters be able to respond? No, they will not. The Frostbites and Luna Moths will be moving on as well. That is the first time this season we will be seeing the Malware Monster take a bottom half finish. They still came pretty close, though. I imagine the time won't be too shabby. Meanwhile, the Overdrive struggling here. They got silver in the last event, but so far that's really all they have to show for this season, and evidently their struggles are only going to continue. But a 12:23, a bit better than the times last season, and the last heat. And Terra from the Frostbites will take the win here. Now we move on to the Order of Aura, Phantom Flames, Gold Doubloons, and Ferrofluids, the latter of whom have both sent their captains, and it looks like those two will be starting off with the lead here, the Gold Doubloons with their captain. But here come the Order of Aura out of nowhere to take second place. Now they're into the advancement zone, but the Ferrofluids go right back on by. Meanwhile, the Gold Doubloons have a huge lead, but they get stuck right there. Will the Ferrofluids go by? Yes, they will. And the Order of Aura, the Gold Doubloons have choked it, but the Ferrofluids and Order of Aura will be moving on. That was perhaps the most chaotic heat we've seen yet, with the Gold Doubloons having such a massive lead throughout parts of this course, but then getting stuck on the very final obstacle. What a heartbreaking moment for them. And meanwhile, 15 seconds is a very slow time for Lantern of the Phantom Flames, who's never really even in this competition. But the Gold Doubloons with silver have to be absolutely devastated with a result like that. They'll get 15th in this event, only above the aforementioned Phantom Flames. Meanwhile, the Snow Skaters getting best of the rest, and the Malware Monsters still getting 10th place. Very respectable for both of those teams. They've been very consistent so far, and considering the Malware Monsters have the point lead, 10th place, I'm not sure that's going to be enough to lose it there. As now we move on to the semifinals, Team Toucan, the Ash Flowers, the Ferrofluids, and the Luna Moths. It will be the Ash Flowers starting off with the lead, though, and the Ferrofluids not too far behind them. The Ferrofluids, though, within striking distance. They go to opposite sides, but the Ash Flowers take the better line. Meanwhile, the Luna Moths are challenging. Oh, the Ash Flowers are stuck. The Ferrofluids will go by, and the Luna Moths will as well, and that will be the end of it. It looked like Team Toucan also trying to make a challenge at the end of the Ash Flowers. Look at that right there, similar to the Gold Doubloons, getting stuck on that very final obstacle, and unfortunate for them. Unlike the Gold Doubloons, they will not even be dislodged, and that means they will be going no further for sure. That pretty much guarantees they'll be getting 8th place as well, unless we see another DNF in the next semifinal. But the captain of the Ferrofluids has won both their heat and the semifinal. Pretty impressive by them. Meanwhile, the Luna Moths also squeaking by to get into the final. Both of those teams already have medals, but it would be nice to get another one, I suppose, in this event. Meanwhile, Team Toucan, unfortunately for them, still don't have a medal this season and will not be able to take one today. There is Cinder sitting right there on the precipice of moving on, but just not able to get it done. But now we move on to the second semifinal. The Order of Aura, Mach 5, Frostbites, and Brainstorms, the latter of whom the only one to send their captain here. And it looks like Mach 5 will be starting off with the lead here. The Frostbites are within striking distance, though. Really, everyone is except for the Brainstorms. But as they go to opposite sides, the Frostbites take the faster line, and now they have a pretty sizable lead. Meanwhile, the Order of Aura tried to catch up with Luca, but it's just not going to happen. They will have to settle for third, but Mach 5 and the Frostbites will be moving on to the final here. The Brainstorms not really able to contend here, and the Brainstorms, actually, I believe this is their first top half finish of the season, so very impressive by them, but unfortunately it will not be in the top 4. The Order of Aura also had a good challenge toward the later parts of this course right here we're seeing in the replay, but they just didn't quite have enough speed to bounce off of Mach 5 and move on, and a 14.13 will be pretty far behind, actually, a pretty sizable gap. We on 11.53 is probably, I think, the fastest time we've seen yet, and it comes from the Frostbites with Terra. The Brainstorms well off the pace here, and their fans not looking too pleased after a result like that, but still 7th place is going to be very respectable for their first top half finish. Meanwhile, the Order of Aura getting best of the rest. Heartbreaking they couldn't get their first medal this event. But now we move on to the final. Magnetite, the captain of the Ferrofluids, Terra from the Frostbites, Sonic from Mach 5, and Thorax from the Lunamoths. And we are off. The Lunamoths have a terrible start, as the Ferrofluids already starting off with a big lead. And now here are the Lunamoths going around the outside to get in 2 spots. Now they're into the top 2, but now they lose both of those spots. The Frostbites and Mach 5 go by. Meanwhile, the Ferrofluids hang on end to end to take the win here. The Ferrofluids take the gold medal here. That is their second medal of the season after getting silver in the first event. Meanwhile, the Frostbites and Mach 5 started off in the medal zone, lost it briefly, at least Mach 5 did when the Lunamoths went by, but then gained it all back in the final few corners of this track, at least the final few of that obstacle course section. The Lunamoths almost had it, but similar to what we saw from, I believe, was the Lucky Clovers in that one of those heats, where they just get passed up by everyone, and a 12.28, a very respectable time for Magnetite, who gets a clean sweep of this event, heat, semis, and the final, and the Frostbites doing an excellent job to take the silver. That is their first medal, but the Mach 5 also joining the Ferrofluids and getting their second medal, which so far the only other team I know of that's gotten multiple medals is the Malware Monsters. You can see there the best time of the day was from the Frostbites. Unfortunately, though, they will have to settle for the silver. The Ferrofluids standing on top of that podium for the first time in an individual event, and this time getting a gold medal here and sharing the podium once again with Mach 5. But as we look at the standings now, the Malware Monsters hold the point lead, but it's only 4 points now over the Ferrofluids, who take second place. Mach 5 back up to third, and suddenly the Event 1 podium is now the overall podium, of course, only provisionally and in backwards order. But of course, we move on to the next event, which will be the Quadrilla Crash. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.